Hi friends, it's Suzanne here from sunstampin.com. I'm a Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator. I wanted to welcome you to another Wildcard Wednesday video on my YouTube channel and blog. For today's card, I'm using the new Beautiful Day stamp set. This stamp set will be available January 3rd, so it's new out of our Occasions catalog. And I wanted to feature the Brusho watercolor paints. So I encourage you to read the directions on the side of the box. I've stuck thumbtacks in, and this is a pigmented watercolor crystallized paint in powder form. Like, it's hard to explain. You can see that I'm tapping out the Brusho from that little hole from the thumbtack, or actually it's a push pin. And you can see how very little I have on my palette. Now, these palettes I bought at the local art store. And here I'm just adding a little bit of water. And once those crystals start to melt or dissolve, they become a beautiful watercolor. So I'm just swatching out so you can see the kind of colors that you can get. I've been noticing when people have been other videos and other demonstrators, when they're featuring this particular product, they are super heavy with the color. And I thought that it might be a bit daunting, and maybe people would think, oh, well, geez, I probably won't get that product because it is so vibrant and so dark. But you don't have to, use it like that at all. So I'm going to show you the Spritz method. So you put spritz water on, and then you just tap on a very little bit of the, I'm using yellow color, and then the gamboge, which is like an orange yellow. And I have heat embossed that butterfly image. So you can see, it's very light. You don't have to use a lot. So one of the tips that I would tell you about is, for one, tape your board down. If you don't like the way it looks, have a paper towel around, get it wet, and pick up some of the color. You don't have to go crazy with the color. You can, just a little bit goes a long way. They are super concentrated, super concentrated. So, and it's a watercolor pigment. And as soon as those crystals, dissolve, it just bursts into almost like fireworks. Like, it is a very cool product. This product has been around for 25 years. It comes from Sheffield, England, I believe. 37 years, pardon me. And there are 32 colors. So if you actually did want to go to the Brusho site, you can pick up more colors. So this is my first card. I backed it with some Dazzling Diamonds glitter paper and heat embossed the sentiment, and just really simple. So this is the same design, heat embossed butterfly. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing the dry powder on dry paper. So I'm sort of like placing it where I think the powder would go. This powder is unpredictable, but you can see how very little, you can see those little speckles. That's all you need. And as soon as that water hits it, those crystals burst. And here you have some watercolored images. Now you can go around and you can mess with it if you wanted. I just heat set it with my drying part on my heat tool. That's setting 1. And yeah, you can, dry it with a heat gun, no problem. So I'm using the blue, this Prussian blue, and look at how little flakes I have. This is what I'm trying to really educate anyway. You don't have to use a lot. So even though I had dried the yellow butterfly, I'm going in and wetting it all over again. And that's okay, because it'll just help that yellow to blend. So here I'm with a paintbrush. I've sprinkled on that lovely blue, Prussian blue color. And now I'm just moving it around with my paintbrush. Look at my light color. I know that everybody's been, using this, like I said, and they've just been putting on so much color. You don't have to. You can actually make a beautiful card, very soft, and you don't have to use a lot of product. So I heat dried that again. One of the big things that I suggest also doing is taping that watercolor paper. And I use watercolor paper for this, Canson XL, but you can use any kind of watercolor paper that you want, but tape it to a board. Like I see a lot of people doing a ton of things with this Brusho, and they're not getting great results because their paper's not taped down. So tape your paper down. Do me a favor, just tape the paper down. Okay, so again, this is what we consider, or what artists consider, wet on dry. So the paint is wet, but the paper is dry. You get a very vivid coloration with this method. And you can see that I've dissolved my crystals into my little palette here. And I'm representing all the 5 colors that Stampin' Up! Will be selling. You'll be able to get Brusho again January 3rd. And yeah, so I'm just drying. I think I initially put yellow down, and then this must be the gamboge, or maybe the second yellow. I'm just sort of drying in between. And then because of that little mark, I ended up cutting it out and putting it on a card. And here is the background. So I'm using the moss green, and I just have a wipeable surface here, and I just sprayed little bits. And then here's my mister, and then a little bit of water, and now my watercolor paper. And I like to hold it down until the edges start to curl up, and that way I know that there's a little bit of water on that watercolor paper. But yeah, you can see, so this would be the smooshing technique with this particular color, and which is a great idea for a background. You don't have to use these to paint with. You can make backgrounds with them. So I really I'm enjoying playing with the Brusho because it is unpredictable and it is getting my creative juices going. I would suggest practice all the methods that you would normally do it with your inks. So with this piece, I backed it with some champagne foil, and I actually flicked on some Wink of Stella as well. But this video is getting long, so I omitted that. You've seen me do that before. So and I was having trouble with my fast fuse on watercolor paper. It certainly doesn't like fast fuse, that's for sure. And again, like I said, the watercolor paper I used was Canson, and I just, cut pieces down. I find that Canson XL, it's a student grade, it's very affordable. I don't feel bad if I kind of do a little mess up. Okay, so that was the wet on dry method and the smooshing on a board in the background. Okay, so this is wet on wet. So I am painting my embossed butterfly with clean, clear water. And then I will be dropping in the Brusho watercolor. So what this is, what kind of a desired effect here is a softer, not so vibrant, like the way the wet on dry butterfly was. This is definitely letting the water do a little bit of the work. The color stays in the wells of the embossed image, so that's kind of fun. You don't have to wait till one bit is dry to move on to another bit. And then some of my water was drying up there, so I just needed to go in. And I actually really did like the effect of this. Brusho seems to be very, very vibrant. So a little goes a long way. Okay, so here is, I think it's Pattern Party stencil and some embossing paste that I'm using here from Stampin' Up. And basically I just went and cleaned my tool and picked this up, and I didn't even wait necessarily for it to dry. So I wanted to see how the crystals actually mixed with each other on the page. So I'm sprinkling both the brilliant red and Prussian blue, and now I'm misting it. And like I said, I didn't wait too long for this to dry. I just went and cleaned my stencil and came back. So I'm trying to make purple. And, you know, because blue and red make purple. And I think it's a great idea if you actually mix it into a palette. And then that way you'll get more of a purpley tone. I found just in this instance here that it really didn't turn super purple. I think the crystals perhaps didn't have enough time to, it kind of is purple. Anyway, that was what I was going for. So I would suggest maybe if you wanted purple to mix the blue and red separately. But it was an interesting concept here just to see if our embossing paste colors, and it does. And so I backed that piece on some more champagne foil, put that to a card base of Whisper White. Then I'm just using my thin adhesive strips to adhere the sentiment, and you know, dimensionals to adhere the butterfly. And of course I'll have pictures at the end so that you can have a nice close-up look. But those are 4 examples of what you can do. Well, actually 6 examples of what you can do with the Brusho. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. Hope you had a really nice Christmas and are looking forward to a crafty 2018. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf to visit my website, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.